Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Ready
Respawn. My name's Tim,
I'm Brian.
and today we're going to be playing Kingdom Hearts.
It's one we've actually been wanting to play for a while now, especially 1.5. I think it's going to be a great run-through.
Yeah, I've been super giddy about coming back through and playing these. We're going to be leading up to the official release, finally, of Kingdom Hearts 3. We're hoping to get through a lot of the games before then, just because obviously Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have a release date yet.
Right, so we're going to go through all of them, hopefully in some sort of order, but we thought, let's go ahead and get started with the first one.
This, hands down, this game just has so many feels for me.
For me too, it really goes back to when I was a kid. I would stay up for days or get home from school, and the first thing I would do is come downstairs and play Kingdom Hearts. It's a really close game to me, especially because I was back then I really liked Final Fantasy. Really for the animation and everything, I thought it was really beautiful and everything like that. Absolutely. And I grew up with Disney, and then they were like, "Oh, let's go ahead and fuse the two," and I was like, "Oh, okay, the best game ever." So it's definitely a good one on my side.
Yeah, I'm so happy that this game definitely changed gaming for me in a whole. Now, me and Brian have kind of talked about what we were going to do as far as difficulty. We're going to hate ourselves pretty much at the end of this thing, but
I thought it would be awesome to go through the final mix as the proud mode, only for the fact of I thought it would be a better commentary for you guys to hear a little of the frustrations that we'll have to go through, but also if you guys are following along, you'll be feeling those struggles as well.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I played the shit out of this game. I have not played the the final mix yet. I'm kind of stoked to do it, but
I'm also a little scared. I know what you're feeling. But, again, we're going to go ahead and go through this, and I think we should go ahead and get started.
Yeah, we're going to go, hell yeah, I want some vibration settings, and let's start hating life here in a second.
You mean enjoying life?
Well, all of the Heartless are gonna kill us. All of the Heartless.
Not if we can get them.
We definitely have talked about this game quite a bit. I always wanted it to be my first Let's Play. I always thought about Luigi's Mansion, another really, really good game to my heart, but this intro, though. This intro.
I mean, like,
I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
What's the difference now between you going through this the first time you ever did and going through it now? Like, what are some changes?
I started playing Birth by Sleep, and recently played Dream Drop Distance. They're both good games in their respective nature. I definitely can say that Birth by Sleep brought back another page for me. It got me back to the roots in the end of that game, and I hope we get to play it when the 2.5 or the 2.8 remix comes out.
That is right. I forgot we have a whole other game that we're gonna be going through as well. Hopefully we're gonna rush through that one enough time for the release.
Well, unfortunately,
3, of course, but
yeah, I'm hoping that we are. But I can tell you that Birth by Sleep alone, when I played it, I've beaten the Ventus and Terra storylines. I have like 50% completion in the journal, and I already have like 65 hours worth of gameplay.
Wow.
The final bosses are just brutal.
I can't imagine what we're about to go through, because in all honesty, I think I've played it on normal, and every time I just did it on normal because I just wanted to see, like, getting the different power-ups at the beginning and everything like that, so
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I mean, the first time that I went through this, especially at this beginning, I kind of just fell in love with it. It was very opening to me. I don't know why Sora is always falling. He's got a tripping problem, but
yeah, apparently he can't stand his own 2 feet, and that's a really precarious place for Kyrie to be, being like a 12-year-old girl. I'm pretty sure we just got a cooter shot.
I mean, only if you're looking.
I looked.
You kind of looked.
It
kind of happened.
Myself.
You shattered.
But luckily, this is a video game.
This beginning,
this scene.
it's where it all begins. And
my first time I ever saw this game, my cousin was playing it, and Lindsay
same here.
Played WoW. She played Final Fantasy, and so of course she got into the Kingdom Hearts games, and just I fell in love. So this part we've actually done a little bit of debating.
So much to do, so little time.
There is so much to do.
Take your time. Don't be afraid.
So afraid right now.
The door is still shut. Now step forward. Can you do that? Do that.
I hopefully can slightly tilt the left
slightly.
analog stick.
And again, you know, for how confusing the storyline and the continuity between Kingdom Hearts is, I still find it a fantastic video game and series.
Oh yeah. So this is a really...
But yes, we have actually
Kinda-
given some thought to this on what we actually want to do. We do want to actually go with kind of strength, but we also want to be able to acquire a lot of abilities. Was that right?
Yeah, so typically the way that I would always do it, and I think Brian is the same way, we would take the sword and get rid of the staff, which you guys will see once we take an item. Each different one that you do will give you a different set of abilities and attributes. We have decided to go with the shield this time, if I can get on the platform.
Again, I don't think I've ever actually done the shield as my main thing, like the first thing I grabbed.
I don't think I have either. I've always
I grab the sword always. I mean, of course they point you to that. It's the sword. It's power, right?
Yeah, and I used to always give up the staff because I don't really like magic. However,
as useful it can be in situations on certain Heartless and everything like that, it's really, I mean, other than using it for Cure and Curaga, just trying to heal you and your whole team, I don't really see too much benefit in it, because you can still use your spells and everything, but it's more beneficial to go with, you know, getting more AP and trying to get as many slots for you as possible.
Yeah, and so the way that it's going to kind of go, we're going to go with kind of a really good baseline, not necessarily too powerful, but I'm not going to take a lot of damage really easily, as well as it gives us the maximum amount of item slots starting out, as well as the maximum amount of AP that we can start off with. So definitely going to go ahead and give up the sword. The only reason why I did it is because giving up the sword gives me a little bit more in magic, so it kind of helps us out a little bit further. Now,
again, a little different from what we usually go with, and it's also proud mode, but I think it's gonna benefit in the end.
Yeah, I really just don't want to take a shit ton of damage. Typically, I'm a kind of a run and gun kind of guy, and I'll just run in guns a-blazing, and I don't even care. But I definitely, this run, I need to kind of play it safe and try to make this as painless as possible for you guys. Definitely going to be some death montages, rage quit montages. This is always one thing that did blow my mind. I didn't ever realize
that he held the shield that way, because I've never played with it.
Yeah.
And he holds the shield like he would a regular Keyblade. You think he just hold it like a shield. Does he do that with the staff?
I would assume so. I would assume he holds it like exactly like a Keyblade. It just until you get magic power, you really can't utilize the staff. So that's what I didn't understand. Like, why would you ever take the staff? Okay, I can realize this shield is not as easy to like do damage with. No distance.
It's a shield.
No distance.
The only time Goofy is really useful is when he does his tornado or starts running and bashes all of them in the front.
That's a valid point. I always get rid of Donald.
Whenever you have to switch the trio, or when you can switch the trio out.
Oh, I didn't even realize I needed to hit X.
Hit X.
Damn it.
Behind you!
Oh no. R1,
Just
look at
going
that
through the
boom.
locking.
Yeah. This little portion is a little bit like, it's honestly, to get used to the game, it's a really good tutorial. It's not too long, it's not too short. The beginning portion of this game definitely is a little bit longer than I think it should have been.
Well, I mean, the beginning with the intro and everything, it is a little bit, but I mean, it gets you into it, and it still has the cutscenes to make it appropriate. I think it's a good way to get you through the tutorial. It is a little bit different and kind of drawn out, but I mean, I've had worse tutorials.
Yeah, the only one that I really didn't like was Kingdom Hearts 2. That tutorial was like...
Are you talking about the tutorial or the
like the first
the whole
six,
beginning?
Yeah, like the first
days.
6 days.
Yeah, no,
that's all your tutorial.
No, that's well, basically, yeah.
Like it's
the
just,
whole Roxas,
it's
everything.
so brutal. Like I am totally not used to these controls again.
You can't open the door.
Oh no!
You can't do it.
I think I might need to open that chest. That's so
I do
weird.
think now. Here's another thing. With getting all the chests and everything, we're not actually going to go for 100% here. Now, in saying that, we are going to go ahead and go probably. Are we going to get all the chests and the Trinity points?
I would like to get all the Trinity points and all the chests and everything like that.
And probably the Keyblades and the king, like save the queen and save the king, of course. So.
Yeah, definitely the major Keyblades are just cool. Some that we think are really cool.
Definitely our favorites, and
yeah, we definitely want to pick up the favorites. Oh, absolutely, we're gonna get the ultimate weapon. I don't know if we're gonna do kind of like a binge montage, and if you guys want to join in on it.
It probably won't be a part of the main videos, but it will be kind of like a separate thing, or maybe at the end, like a special at the end of one of the episodes.
Yeah, because even...
Hold on, the door won't open just yet. First, tell me more about yourself.
So this is something we haven't discussed yet. Each one of these guys will ask you something different.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this.
I recently looked through a walkthrough just kind of get us prepped for what we were going to look at. Now, I didn't read this far into it, so I don't know what each one of these does.
Well, I feel like we should answer these honestly. Like,
yeah.
Like, so what is most important to you? Being number one, friendship, my prized possessions. Honestly, for me, friendship.
Friendship, yep. Absolutely.
If anime and video games and pretty much any storyline has taught me anything, it's friendship can overcome anything.
Definitely. What are you so afraid of?
Getting old, being different, being indecisive. I'm not afraid of being indecisive. I just am indecisive.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Getting old, no. I just being different. I like being different.
I personally would probably go with being different, just because to a certain extent, if you're not like somebody else, then if
you don't get along, like with being a friend, you can't be friends if you don't get along in a certain way enough that you agree on a level. So
definitely, I'm gonna have to go with being different here. And for you, what do you want out of life? To see rare sights, to broaden my horizons, to be strong.
I would say to broaden my horizon.
Yeah.
Like I like to know a lot of things.
Yeah,
and to experience a wide variety.
I've always loved to travel. We actually work for the Asia Pacific region, so we take calls for New Zealand, Australia, and New Zealand, and so it's
The
actually
day
pretty.
you will open the door is both far off and very near.
The day we open the door is going to be. I love the first world we go to. It's definitely. It's one of my favorites.
Honestly, one of my favorite worlds is the Nightmare Before Christmas. The reason that holds a special thing for me is because when I was in high school in my marching band, our first show was the Nightmare Before Christmas, and we got to wear these like black hoods over our face. It was really, really cool. And yeah, it was cool. We were actually in the newspaper for it too.
That's legit. Like, I always loved, for some reason, like marching bands. You guys had some of the coolest shit.
And I don't classify myself in the marching band. I was in the drum line.
Yeah, that's totally different.
It is different.
But I mean, I can definitely tell that really the only difference between the sword and the shield is definitely a little bit of range, but it's still got a pretty good hitbox on it, for the most part. But I think we are gonna go ahead and save our game and kind of take a look into it. So
Let's see here.
let's look at some save files. Oh, this is a save point. Hit blah, and you can save up here. Yay! Woo! I'm so glad it actually lets me save.
Well, I would hope it lets you save here.
Doesn't it? Make me pissed off. Alright, well, I think, honestly, oh, look at that. Hey, look.
I think that was my previous one. I guess we're just going in with number 2.
I think what we're gonna do, just to kind of be safe, is we might just create multiple save files as we kind of go through, just to make sure that we...
Don't save over mine.
No, I'm not gonna save over yours.
Okay. It's like, don't be a dick.
If we need to, then we can overwrite older ones. But I think that's actually a perfect place to call it. We have that to look forward to in the next episode.
Yeah, we'll just head up that, and so hopefully, watch, like, subscribe, do what you can, and of course, we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, guys. Take it easy.